now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go like straight to bed.
You get
So
some,
you
get
have
some,
you have a good day.
peace out. That ruled.
Bye bye.
Night. Oh, for anybody who's hopping over or just catching this VOD later, that was the voice of Jordan from Drinking with Skeletons, and they are a good time. Top tier, big party energy. I'm gonna be setting up here to do some art. This has been backburnered for a while we've sort of let them pile up to make a session out of it, but I am doing the achievement icons for the upcoming video game Waves of Steel, which everybody should absolutely search up on Steam and go wishlist because it looks like an absolute rollicking good time. But we're gonna be loading up Clip Studio Paint and doing some just regular ass drawings of like boats. Doing like cool flips and shit. It's gonna be rad. Boop. Alright, I have to HTTP that. Don't you hate it when it puts punctuation just into the link? I'm always terrified of it. At the same time, putting a space before the marker at the end of a sentence is weird. Strange. Oh man, this rules! I have to show this. Oh, I've already got clip up and open. Sweet. Load the rest of the stuff. Ah! This over to the correct window. Oh. I actually anticipated doing those streams in the opposite order. Doing a bunch of Fall Guys in my evening as my cooldown. So, doing a little bit of desktop cleanup at the minute, but heck, that's what the wind-up notification is. Trucy! Welcome on. Let's pop over here. Disable the game capture. Oh, I should probably get rid of the little floating icons on my laterals. I did not see those. All right, we'll pull up clip. And there we go. There we go. I am whole once more. I have been rendered as a complete creature once again, for the better or worse of everybody involved. Oh, been drinking a lot of coffee, drinking a lot of water. I'll probably take a break not too deep into this. Mm. Hello, welcome. I am catching up on some backlog. I have finally gotten a finished working version. I'm not used to sprite manipulation, okay? It's not a thing that I do super duper often. I do not like load up other art and like do manipulations, and I offered to do to pay my way to Magfest, or at least for my hotel room, through like doing a bunch of it. So like there were a bunch of experimental functions that went into creating that animation. It ran long, but I learned a lot. Yo, is Happy Chaos good? I hope Happy Chaos is good. I would like to check out Strive, but I need to stay focused on the mission of doing stuff. Okay. I need to check and see if there's a way that I can like mute the desktop audio or what have you, so that it doesn't make it into the VOD, but we can still listen to music while streaming. Music that isn't, kind of innately weird and off-brand, because that's how that works. But I'm going to do that. Is desktop... Oh, yeah, desktop audio. Get out of here. So, as always, my streams are bring your own tunes. I keep thinking that I should just set up a soundtrack that plays quietly in the background, but I have not made that yet, of like YouTube free music. And also, like, the licenses change on the YouTube songs, I found out, by having one of my old videos be made demonetized. Very frustrating. But, like, I'm not making ad revenue anyway, let's be real here. I just don't want any strikes. I don't want to tickle the tail of the dragon to steal words from people that were doing radiation testing, etc., etc. Oh no. Boop, boop, boop. Alright. Man, there's a lot of ats that happened today on the internet. Luckily, none of them pertain to me. That's nice. Friend of mine got some metal chunk stuck in their eye, and they let that thing rock for 2 days before they saw a doctor. And I have told them that they are officially tougher than I am, cause dang. Just bringing your music is fine. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like people expect you to put something up, but I'll be honest, just as like a stream viewer, I kind of enjoy the freedom to just listen to my own stuff. Uh-oh, hang on. Okay. Mesa Vista Hall. Okay. Alright. My one work email that I'm checking off the clock. Okay. Hello and welcome everybody to Art. So I have a list of achievements to do. And where'd it go? How have I communicated with like 8 people since getting this list set up? So, first Chivo that we're going to be working on is destroying a ship by ramming it. Did not wear enough ear or eye protection? Wait, what? Hang on, who? What? What? Oh, father who works with metal and metalworking. Yeah, yeah, that stuff's always to be avoided whenever possible. That's not what I want. I want just layer lock. There it is. There we go. Now I can't accidentally draw. My favorite part about getting to do these icons is that the funnier the joke is to me, usually the better the icon is. And it's just as likely to get accepted most of the time if the joke is good. Ah, flanking. There. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of overworking for any reason. Much to the frustration sometimes of would-be collaborators who work harder than I do. I'm just like, no. we're not going to go that hard. Sorry. Gonna need you to calm down maybe a little bit, maybe a lot of bit. I also am enjoying just kind of anthropomorphizing ships without, you know, drawing any humanized features on them. This has genuinely just been one of the most delightful projects to have crossed my desk. Not just doing the icons, but just Waves of Steel in general. I am a big fan of the attitude and ethos. TMA, welcome. I'm working on your stuff. Finally. It's just gushing about how fun your entire ethos has been to like work with and around and for. And how often you were willing to just let a solid joke rock. Yeah, it's the game maker who is making the game, which means that if you buy it in early access, there's gonna be more game for you. And also, it funds development, which means it's more likely that you will get more game for you if you pick up a copy. I was elsewhere talking about this too. Making the game right now. What a coincidence! I am also assisting in making the game right now, just in a way less important fashion. Like, hopefully, it will be well remembered in time. Alright, let's turn that lock on. I love the opacity lock. Ever since I discovered it, it's completely changed the way that I work. I'll just block out a silhouette now and then paint inside of it. But I also have just a really strong understanding of silhouettes. Like I just build sort of the scaffolding that I'm going to need. It works out pretty good. Yeah, I figure this is appropriate for the achievement you get for ramming a boat. Ramming is a kind of punch, if you think about it. Really, if you want to be very reductionist about it, and maybe I do, you know, just literally any physical contact is a kind of punch. You know, I think the other thing that I've really enjoyed about this project is that you've been very on board with the aesthetic direction that I wanted to take with it, of just like old school paintings. 'Cause I don't know, I think there's something really charming about like seeing the strokes in work, even digital, maybe even especially digital. Yeah, that's really accurate, honestly. Like this is a project that I think about all the time, and in part it's just because it's really fun to come to it every single time. Not to mention, like you can't disservice yourself either with like your ethos about working on this is so fun to be around. Like you're making a product that is ultimately for sale that everybody should purchase because it is for sale and it is a thing that people can buy. Like absolutely. But at the same time, like it's fun. Like capital F fun. We were talking about this with Batman over on Drinking with Skeletons while we were playing some Fall Guys together. And like it's just so much of like the Batmans has stopped being enjoyable, even remotely. Right? Like it's a slog of like, oh, this is the dark future of the bat. Like so often. And it's just like, man, this sucks. That sucks. And like I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to engage with it. It's not a fun time. It's not a fun time or a good time or any time at all that I want to do. You know? But like this, it's like, ah yes, noble battleship sailing the seas with every gun possible just strapped to him. It's so strong and just like the dissonance with your presentation is just really enjoyable. I'm such a fanboy of this game and I get to work on it. Like yeah. Feels good. Feels real good. I quite appreciate it. Presently sort of finding my sea legs, the aesthetic again, because it's been a hot minute since we since I had the opportunity to work on it. Like I took a day off work with the intention of catching up on some things and like making good on some social obligations at long last. Yeah, the bit below the waterline. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is pop up on top of it and like paint over it. Because like there needs to be some ocean here. Speaking of, actually, it's time. That's way too saturated. There we go. Now, I'm going to pull up that photo of a ship firing all of its guns so we can take a look at the way that the water arcs away from it. Well, I'm going to take a look at it. Y'all can just, enjoy. And we're going to replicate that with the impact of the punch. Got like a side-on shot of that? No. It's just one really good aerial photo. For anybody who's interested, let me drop that image somewhere. It's weird that I can't send to my own chat from OBS on YouTube. Wish I could. All right. For anybody who's interested in that image, rather than put it on screen. Paste the link. There it goes. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. That's like the one feature that I really want. Oh, send feedback. I want to be able to send to my own chat from the OBS window. Thanks, please. Alright. Watch, that just sends it to YouTube, and they're just gonna be like, oh, we have no control over that. Okay. Just trying to get the window to recognize anything with that ass to Do I have the stream elements overlay disabled? Maybe? Yeah, there it is. There's a bit cup. Which is weird. I don't know if we even have access to, like, bit stuff. I don't know if this gradient's what I needed. Oop, that's not what I needed. Or the amount of paint here. That's much more like it. Not rematching people? Ugh. Ugh. That's so gross. Yeah. I mean, the Strive community is pretty solid about, like, continuing to play with people even if they're, like, losing pretty bad or something like that. And I appreciate them for it. Yeah, it's definitely, like, a positive experience every time that I load up Strive. But, like, I think that it is also totally fine to curate who you're playing with, like, a bunch. Yeah. Yeah, I was picking up what you were putting down. I knew what you're talking about. Why did I do these on the same layer? What's wrong with me? Very a mistake. Push dents down, please. Jesus. Nope. Oh, that. Oh. Brush way too large. Particle size way too large. Now too small. Just right? There we go. Oh. Actually, I want to do that. This part. There we go. That's the stuff. It should read by the time I'm at it, yeah. Don't worry. There we go. That's much better. Okay, now to put a little more of the detail on here. To paint. I have the utmost confidence that this will either read or I will make it read. The two. Yeah, so basically what alpha locking does is it stops you from being able to change the opacity of any of pixels on that layer. Yeah. I can pop the contrast of this boat back here a bunch. Like right here on this edge, I can draw right on it without having to worry basically at all about it going off the edge and ruining the point of the prow, as it were. Yeah, it reads pretty good. This is one of these things that is always difficult to do when you're working at these low size or small sizes, and it's just pushing your contrasts hard enough that things will read like very, very accurately and very quickly. We're gonna come back here to this boat actually. A little bit of definition right there. This. Actually gonna grab like a little bit of a blue. Down here. Do a touch of that action. That helps a bunch. Then I'll opacity lock right there. Where is my cloud brush? The rocks. There it is. Oh, I should probably scale this down to a reasonable size. Thank you for catching me on saying alpha. Much appreciated. Oh, that's the wrong layer. That's one of those things like I was talking about earlier, where like you just have to realize like sort of when you're too deep in something. And for me, one of those things is referring to some terms like that in sort of an overloaded way. There we go. I think that looks pretty alright. I think there's a little bit more that I can do to it though. What if I did that on the correct layer? There we go. That looks better to me. There we go. Let's throw those little wrinkles on there. Quickly slam that down. Told you I'd make it read somehow. I feel like I could futz with it and add like more impact effects, right? Like maybe like a little color splash or something in there. But I don't know if I want to keep futzing with it. Save as. So we'll set that one for now, and then we'll just piece out to a fresh one real quick and keep going. Keep this gravy train a haulin'. Right, destroy the flying battleship. He sent me some key art of that. I kind of want to just draw it like nose into some sand somewhere, with maybe like a guy in the foreground doing a they blew it up. But I don't know if I can work all that nuance in there. Yeah, the little smile on it. That was intentional. I saw that going in. I was like, ah, yes. Perfect. God, this is such a cool pose. What if the boat was on the ground in the... What if I just put it in the crater? What if we just took the dead Yamcha crater concept and just like stuck the airplane in it? The airplane, which is a battleship. The battle plane, as it were. Oh man, I think you've got it. I think you got it. At the very least, this is a good color palette for starting this. In a tidal wave crater. So we can always hue shift it back into blues if we decide that that's the direction we want to go. I will say, doing this is making me fantasize about the upcoming Dragon Ball by Daylight. That is something that sounds pretty cool in my mind's eye. Hmm. You know, I do respect that it does sound like a mess. It does also sound pretty good, right? Right? Like, yeah, I'm not crazy here. Having 7 survivors. I mean, I feel like as long as it's difficult for the survivors, despite that numerical like trait, like it's still gonna be just rollicking good time. But I also just really want it to be good because like the Dead by Daylight thing has it's really exciting to me. Like I love the idea of this asymmetric multiplayer trend that's like really taking off and like a lot of people are really liking it. You know, like oh man, I think that's so cool. At the same time though, I really I really am not into the tropes Dead by Daylight. Like it's very murdery, kind of gross. Not into that. I think my pen pressure is working right somehow. Something's going on here. Something's wrong. Working area is good. It's good. Just close it. Try reinitializing it. Hmm. All right. Give me 1 second to restart clip. Because this happens sometimes. Oh, also, did y'all know there's a sale on Clip Studio Paint right now? There we go. Now it's working correctly. I just had to do a quick restart. Let's face it, we've all just been looking for an excuse to draw a dead Yamcha for a bit here, huh? This for me is the hardest part of any art stream that I do, and it's just that I feel deeply, deeply boring sometimes. Oh, Yamcha, what? Oh, it's a thing. Hang on. So this is a deeply iconic image. Here. Uh, I'm gonna post this in Admiral chat. Yamcha dead in a hole is such an iconic image. Here are cosplayers performing it live. Oh, you know about Dead Yamcha? Good. That's my idea for beating the airplane boss. Is the Yamcha crater with the airplane in it. Oh god. It's so good though. It's such an excellent piece of illustration. I'm such a fan. What do you think? I mean, I can not do that. If you would prefer, I avoid it because, as you are correct in mentioning, it has been done a couple of times. Yeah, at least twice. At least once by those cosplayers. You will want to see how it turns out. Awesome. See, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to working on Waves of Steel, y'all. This is the ethos that the lead of the project brings to it. Yeah, I mean, look, Akira Toriyama doesn't own dead guys in craters, okay? But yeah, I mean, there's a reason that I didn't just grab an edit of like the crater empty, because like that would not be our work. That would not be us doing it, and that's deeply unethical. Oh god, that would be. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to effectively like crash the plane in it, and I might put like a little green thing down here. That might be part of what happens in this rendition of it. I don't know what it'd be, like a cactus, just like still standing in the crater, kind of pushed to one side or the other. Yeah, just like a little oil paint fresco crater reference. I'll be honest, I've been dying to draw something in this crater, so I'm glad that this is where this energy has ended up. Trying to give it the correct amount of explosion, right? Cause hop back over to Discord. All right, because the plane has like a pretty distinctive silhouette from the top, and I think I can use that here. If I oop 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 oop, because I think if I do oop, these. Discord, I'm gonna need to put you on the other monitor for a hot minute. I forget if you have a name for this achievement yet. But that might also inform, any directional changes that we take. flying battleship, and the mission is called Quetzalcoatl. Arbuthnot. The fact that he shows up again later, I think, only makes this image stronger. Or this concept. But I will be the first to admit I am notoriously a memester. I will very often choose the path of most meme violence. Yeah, I'm trying to view this thing from above. I assume that like the cutscene introduces it in this way. Really gotta get around to finding time to streaming this instead of just doing art for it. I have my copy. Just gonna bake it out for me? Hey, that would rule, actually. Because, like, I'm sort of banking on what the player knows about its shape. Or gambling on the idea that I know what the player knows about its shape. Or at least can infer it. There we go. So this is the core of the way the silhouettes are gonna be lined out. Because like the thing will be like a battleship gray, of course, because it's a flying battleship. Which is sort of just like a bluish gray, and it should pop off of here a little bit better. Ooh, hang on, let me get my large appendage out of the way. Okay, so there's another circular jet up here. This thing is so large, Jesus. I'm just gonna bring that to the top of my stuff. It's gigantic. I mean, what I really just need is like the strongest impression of the shape of it that a player is going to get, because that if a player can recognize this thing from like a few different angles, then like that informs the ways that I can depict it. Oh my god. There we go. Sorry, Spotify was trying to feed me dubstep again, and you know how I feel about dubstep. More like don't step is more like it. I wonder if I could build this thing in Trailmakers. I would like to build this thing in Trailmakers. Yo, did y'all see that Doc was playing Trailmakers for like 14 hours? Like, if that's not an endorsement for my favorite little build 'em up, like, God, why not? What's wrong with y'all? 14 hours. It just consumed them bodily. Come on. If y'all have got it, I would love to host some servers of that when I have more time. Oh, you posted the cinematics? Oh, oops. Ah, I see. You posted them in the Discord. Shit. Ah, I love it. That whips. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, yeah, so they'll absolutely understand the silhouette, like, for sure. Oh, it's even crashing in the way that I've angled it into the ground! Oh! This is perfect. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is destiny. This is fate. Oh yeah, I mean, like collecting those little cubes is it's very enthralling. Like I am a person who thrives on like weird customization sometimes. Like that game does a good job of it. Like it gives you a crunchy enough simulation to argue with while also providing you with just a very excellent oh, this is coming out really good. Uh with just a really excellent like tool set to do the arguing with. Like I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. I mean, I could flip it horizontally, I suppose. I have to redo a little bit of the lighting on some of it. I think that the crash is distinctive enough. Oh, that's the thing I can put down where the little guy's clawfoot is. That opacity lock on. If I do this, right? Because remember, Yamcha dies not even to a named character; he dies to a Cyberman. Every plane a painting. I'm also making the crater much deeper than the original reference material. I feel like that makes sense, considering. Hmm. Real deep focus hours right now. There we go. Trying very hard to set the sense of scale for this thing. Because it's massive in game. It's just so big. As such, it has to get sort of a rich value scale, otherwise it'll look smaller than it should. Fortunately. There we go. That's exactly enough detail. Finally. Okay. Oh, this is looking good. What do you think, chat? Is this looking original yet referential? That's what I'm going for. I feel like I can do more detailing around the edges of the crater. Like that's missing. Or this action. Awesome. I'm glad you're into it. I'm always happy when one of our exchanges can start with, "How are you gonna do that?" To "Hell yeah!" That always makes me happy. We can develop that dynamic. Also, I'm very sorry if the neighbor dog incessantly barking makes its way into the audio feed. I hate that thing. Like, I would very much like it to stop existing. I'm so tired of listening to that damn dog bark. There's two big guns up there. Okay, last pass, last value pass. We can put this one to bed, probably. All right. Call that one good for now. Hmm. Let's I'm gonna skip the Apotemkin for the minute. Purely because like the nature of that fight is confounding a little bit to my process because like it's effectively two things. So I'm not exactly sure how to dive into that one. All right. This one should be pretty quick. Work phone, it's 5:15. Where are you going off? Yeah, this is Habakkuk, of course. Yeah. So some of you who show up to the Just Poster Society might remember TMA working on their the ice boss effectively, as I will call it, for the sake of anybody who's looking for a spoiler-free environment to watch a guy work on a video game technically. Hang on, that's actually a weird expectation to have. If you're here and you want that, sorry, no, that's not possible. Uh, I'm doing the achievement for winning that fight, as it were. Can't wait for the lava level. It's kind of an ice level. I will say I have every confidence that it does not have ice physics. I don't think that they are sinister enough to do that to you in a boat. Remember, I'm always trying to go fast on these two. I don't want to. I don't want to run the bill up. Sometimes I get locked into something and I'm like, why am I rendering this? No. I mean, you're a battleship. It's not like you got to parallel park it or anything. Although, challenge stage idea. Oh, I'm so glad that you're so good. Okay, with just letting all of these be sight gags. So often, achievement hunting is just joyless to me. So getting this opportunity to make them be fun is something that's very appealing to me. what do you what do you think of that one? Yeah, an achievement should be a reward, exactly. And like so often they just look like some sort of little war badge or something, and like it goes in your case and you forget about it immediately because it was boring, right? I'm really hoping that these become like almost mimetic in nature. Would be the ideal. If I remember correctly, you were saying that like some of your playtesters were really enjoying them, and that gives me absolute life. Oh, right, because that's on another layer. I'm an idiot. Okay. Remember your layers, folks. Keep you from looking like a clown in front of your boss later. Foregrip. Oh, I intended it to be like a big cannon barrel, but you're right, actually. I think that it would look better with like a foregrip. I don't think the naval theming need extend quite that hard. My art is canonically like Sonic the Hedgehog. Fast and attractive. The speedboat one is an emoji? Hell yeah! Man, I was on artist Twitter earlier, and somebody was complaining about somebody having work that they sold to somebody being used like as a product, like a T-shirt. Like it would have affected their pricing. And like, God, I'm really glad I don't have to do that. Right? Like for people, because like for me, it really just affects like how much detail and like how large I would want to make it, so that for you it could look good. So you don't have to like have a weird blurry upscale. Like we know that these are just chivos. You don't have to like do that. Just I don't know. It just seemed like a weird opinion to have, I guess. Because like once the work is yours, it's yours. I'm not gonna police what you can or can't turn into a T-shirt if you think it looks good enough to do that with. Like, God forbid. There we go. That's looking a lot better. I think the only thing that I might change. Forgot my opacity lock for a second there. Trim that down, make it just a little less bulbous. Bulbous Fett. Like he's like the more honorable, chunky version. Oop. Boba Fett. uh, there we go. All right. Destroy 20 ships by ramming. That's what I was going for. I was like, this is gotta look like one of Calvin's horrifying snow sculptures. Yes, yes, yes. Nailed it. Huh. 20, huh? Hmm. Yeah, but I mean, like, the idea is that, like, you've sunk a whole lot of boats, right? Hmm. Take flight? Okay. Alright, well, I have one for take flight, so I'm gonna do it real quick. You already see it, right? Learned so much about boats since I started doing these. Oh, I know what I might do for the ramming one. What if it was just a boat wearing like a WWE victory belt on it somehow, just like draped on it? All right, I'll take that one as a yes. So I'm gonna speed that one up. And I think I can do that. You've got like a brand logo, right? So I have an idea of how maybe I can do that one even faster than like I already am usually. But if you have your brand logo as a .svg, that would be very helpful. This is of save me from doing a bunch of rendering. DM the game logo. Cool. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna slip out a CSP. Yeah. Specifically, like, do you have it as a vector file? No is an acceptable answer. I can still work with that. But like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load it into Blender and I'm just gonna make a quick belt like on an octagon or something in Adobe Illustrator. Okay. Wonder if I can convert a .ai to an SVG on the fly. I probably can. But like the intention, we load it into Blender, use it as the basis for a 3D logo, get it in the correct position, and then just do a very quick and rough paint over the top of it, as opposed to just try to render this like this thing I want to be highly recognizable and also whatever else, you know. And like reflective and shiny and things. I think I can just do it faster this other way. Na na na, new lift balloons. Something, 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 something. Wish you got SVGs. If you shoot them a DM and just be like, hey, can you re-export these as an SVG? They can do that. Just if they do it, there's a box under like custom properties that says like export display properties, and you'll want to ask them to check that. Second. I just did this with Sanguinary over the Pokemon stuff. Scroll up just a bit. So good. God, all that Pokemon stuff looks so cool. There we go. I sent you a DM of the screenshot. Also, somebody sent me a message. Yeah. Yeah. So that display properties image or display properties whatever that is. What that does for me as a Blender artist is it makes sure that it exports the matte files basically of the thing, so that I will get the color data. That's the words. That's the words I'm looking for. Color data, color data, color data, data of colors, color data. Apply to the object. Otherwise, I will get all of the vector objects with none of the color data, and they will just be black. And then I have to reconstruct the logo using materials in Blender, and that's just a pain in the ace, to be totally candid about it. Yeah. I was trying really hard to think of a way to surprise the player with the imagery, and I think that I've got something good here. Spotify is feeding me an excellent cover of Muffet's theme from Undertale. Want everybody to know that. No, I won't play it for you because terrified of the monster. The DMCA may cry. this, this particular one whips. I think this is my favorite one I've done so far. Like, not just today, I mean just in general. There's something so whimsical about this. It's like what if the old man in Up wasn't just, sad and lonely, but was instead a naval commander. They've been trying to get me to sell my battleship for years, but I won't fold. I'm tempted to stick the engine on it, since some of the gang like it. Oh. Come on. Oop, gotta shake my hand out. I'm doing something that's inadvisable. I shouldn't be coloring this way. Doing a lot of like little short wrist strokes, and it's a terrible idea. Just want to block in these values real quick. There we go. The only visual gag that I haven't like gone for yet is an arm sticking up, like a big hand on the deck of the ship, just holding a handgun. It's the only one that I saw in my mind's eye and then just kind of threw out. Maybe I should have done that one though. I wonder, what does it look like without this? Bad. Bad, actually. Bad. It almost looks like I drew it with that in place. I wish that it were possible for me to do these in actual oil. Like, I know that that's super, like, not. That's not something that could ever happen. I get that, but, like, how fun would it be to just have this painting on your wall? I wish that I could do that for you. Okay, I'm gonna come up here and just airbrush this mat again until work over. Knew it was too early to do that when I was doing it, but I was ambitious. Okay, let's do that switch over now. I'm glad that you approve. Like, I know I just become a chuckling fool, right? Like, as I get to work on this, but it's just, oh man, it's so good. It's so good. Like you know how people say, "Hey, I love what you do" or whatever, right? Like, oh man, that's absolutely me. Is there just like a polygon I can get? Mesh. Like I'd like a cylinder, but I don't want a full cylinder. Surface? And I guess I could do it with a curve, but you know what else I can do? There you go. Yeah, I would like a cylinder, but not, like a good one. There it is. Yeah. I know you can do that, but just like I wanted it to be a cylinder with zero depth effectively, I guess. Which like, hey, you can also do that pretty easy. You're not, being a clown. I like that. Oh, I'm using the Node Wrangler, right? So hang on, I'm gonna do a quick one real quick here, right? So with that Node Wrangler extension, enable that. It is inside of your extensions menu. It's disabled because somebody hates you at the Blender department of creating stuff. So here's how it works, right? So the principal BSDF, right? Like you kind of have a handle on some of these things. You fucked around with some of them. Good. Just gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna lower a bunch of stuff on that too. What I've got going on here, right, is I've taken the Waves of Steel logo right here as a texture file. I've run it into a bump map, but I'm getting my mapping information through the UV coordinates, right? And like, if you want to rotate things, like as textures and whatever, right? Like you can just do it this way with like a whole bunch of properties things. All right, but I'm working on the clock, so I need to keep moving. But like, this stuff is pretty standard. It's also very strong. There we go. No, this stuff is good. I'm about to use it, so I can talk about it a little bit more, right? So I got the texture coordinates, they're generated, they're mapping, but we're working on the world, so we're setting up our HDRI. And I can change the angle at which the light comes in by just rotating the world around this thing. I want it to be shinier, so I'm clear code on it. Trying to make the letters pop a little bit more. As Neil Cicieraga's sonic masterpiece, Two Trucks, blasts in my ears. Yeah. So that's the thing, right? Is that using an HDRI, I'm getting the light from the world. And that's what makes it seem authentic. But I'm also doing this. See, like, this is the kind of thing that I want to teach people about. There we go. Perfect. Cool. Now, I'm going to go over here. Camera, film, transparent, render. Actually, not quite yet. Other material thing. Object, we've got this thing going. Shift A, texture, noise texture. Gonna put it into the normal. It's not gonna do anything. Vector, bump, converts black and white values to the thing. Control T because I just always do that now. That needs to not go into normal. That needs to go into height. It's thinking very hard. There we go. So right there, I shrunk the noise along the Y because these are stretched very far along the Y. And that let it come back and do that. All right, now we can render this image. Save as. F slash Y. Bolt render. Right. Well, this is also a lot of why imposter syndrome is such a nasty thing, right? Because there is a part of my brain every time somebody says, "Oh man, look at how cool that is," and I'm just like, I was mashing, right? God, this latest batch of Chivo icons is really strong. Filter, effect, artistic. No, not color and lines. Colors only. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Okay. So now what we've gone and done is we've run that through... Oops, sorry. There we go. So all we did was run it through like a mild painter thing, so that when I start drawing the boat underneath it, it's going to be less glaring that it's lies. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? You know, the insidious part of imposter syndrome is that, like, no, I am actually good, right? Because knowing about that shortcut is as valuable as just being, like, very aware and, like, having the strong fundamentals, right? Like, just to be perfectly candid, 100% here, right? I wouldn't have the opportunity to work on this if I weren't fast and efficient. Right? Like, that just wouldn't be a thing. TMA would have gone, okay, that hourly rate's outrageous, and also you're slow. You know? Can't do it. But because I know how to do quick things like, you know, oh, hey, you know, instead of painting a bunch of gold effects, I'm just gonna run and grab a quick 3D render, and then we can manipulate it later. Like, that kind of stuff is why I get to do this. And I know it. Now, having the skill to work this stuff into a painterly style after the fact, also a big deal, though. Like, the way that you really fight imposter syndrome is you just have to understand that it's the culmination of things that has gotten you where you are. There's no one thing that someone will point at you and be like, fake! Faker! A fraud! Right, like, that's just not how anything works. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm always looking for places that I can improve and stuff, you know? But, like, I just consider that that's, my thing to deal with. I was not joking. I was absolutely 100% not joking. You have no idea how little joke I had in my body when we were making that joke. The answer was zero. Zero joke in my entire body. Okay, that's not true, because I did have the percentage of joke that is this joke that I'm in the middle of painting. Why? Because it's hilarious. If a good joke falls in my lap, you bet I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna take the front end of this thing and put like huge dents in it. Grab that from up out of the top. There we go. Thanks, Bowman. I didn't draw it. I 3D rendered it like a boss. Like a big brain genius boy. Like just the smartest guy. Thank you. Whew. If anybody's wondering, I'm doing these strokes across the entire canvas on like a 23-inch tablet monitor. I am using my whole arm. That's how you want to do this. Otherwise, you will end up with like carpal tunnel and some other horrifying wrist problems. It's a bad time too. You don't want that. That's like the opposite of what you want, really. Mm-hmm. It's true. Oops. Yeah, I don't like that effect. Get it out of here. Rebuild the topology of this water in my heart. There we go. We're going. Now these ones I am absolutely just throwing my my wrist at. They're so small. So small. I'm kind of making this like main character boat that is showing up in all of these little Chivo icons. And at first I was sort of trying to avoid that, but at this point I kind of love him. He's grown on me. This is my boat Sona. I'm getting all the achievements. It's me. With my cute anchor and my little red underbelly, my clearly definable shapes, my single bridge and no gun. My big old bridge takes up so much of the deck for really no reason. You take care, TMA. I'm almost about to wrap down myself. Oh yeah, Bloom is good. Bloom V good. Yeah, I like the way that's coming out. Man, just not feeling any of these right now. Oh, that came out really good, actually. I think I want a couple more of those. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I think this one's my favorite of the day, honestly. Like, all of these came out pretty ballin', but I think Yamcha Plain is probably the best so far. Okay. This has been a very productive day for me. One more. Oh, there it is. Oh, thank you everybody for hanging out, being cool, being chill as I accomplished work. Like, you gotta understand, this is real weird for me, right? Because, like, the metrics say you have to stream if you want to be a content creator, and so does just being a content creator. I feel like the most boring human, well, snake, whatever, like, on the face of the earth while I do these. Because so often I'm just, like, super in my head about some process, and I'm trying to, like, narrate them out for everybody, you know, like, talk a little bit about, like, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, like, the aesthetic decisions I'm making, but, like, fundamentally, the part of your brain that processes words and linguistic structure and, like, all that stuff is the opposite from the one that interprets images. So I have to, like, completely unscrew my brain and screw it back in the other port every time that I want to, like, talk about something, which is part of why most artists, when they're trying to explain something live, just come out like gibberish. You know, like, oh yeah, it's got more glow styles in it, you know? Like, that's where that kind of phrase comes from. Oh man. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Give me 1 second. We'll do the old manual raid. Oh, oh! Catsworth is playing Loop Hero. All right, everybody. All right, we need a raid message. What is it that deep down we want to tell Catsworth, like deep in our core? What do we want to communicate? Loop Hero is good, but I can't do percentage math on the fly, so I don't like it. All right. Raid messages hashtag Yamcha Cat. I much prefer this one. This one's significantly better than being cute or appreciating that your friends are adorable and wholesome. No, Yamcha Cat. Alright, everybody, we're going to twitch.tv/Kazareth. Tell him Yamcha Cat. No context. Bye.